Welcome to another episode of Barman Saturdays, and this week I decided to take a look at a low-budget live-action affair as well, with Benji from 1974 by Joe Camp. A film made for a whopping $500,000, roughly, which I know sounds like a lot of cheddar, but in terms of films, that's still low budget, even in 1974 standards. Especially for something that got shown in theaters. This thing have a worldwide box office gross of like $45 million. So it definitely made a lot of return on its basic cost, to make the film and probably try and do some advertising for it. So that's probably why it's considered, something of a classic, because it got a lot of attention. Albeit most of its money, I think, came from the U.S. box office, since I think that counted for like over $35+ million of the box office returns on it, so it didn't do as well, in the foreign markets. And I can understand why a lot of the big studios weren't interested in taking out Joe Camp's movie here. I mean, it's really boring. My mom agrees with me on that point, so, I'm not alone saying this film is really boring, but I expect to get a lot of flack for it anyway, because that's just how people are when it comes to films they love. They get thrown even some basic criticisms, even if people can argue their point, people just, get upset and just downvote without, caring about why I think it's boring. And I say it's boring because we spend so much time, just watching Benji go about his average, everyday, stray dog life. Whether it be getting up in the morning and going out to the suburbs to beg for breakfast, to chasing a cat every day apparently, to then going to the park to beg a police officer for snacks, to then going downtown to beg a old cafe owner for some food, then going to the park again to search trash cans and whatever for, some more scraps before going home at the end of the day. We're basically just watching a dog go around begging for food. And I used to be able to just go downstairs and get that experience, because we had at one point 2 dogs, and they would both beg you for food. At this point, Lacey's passed away, which sucked, because she was only like middle-aged, but she got sick, and her getting, feeling unwell, not wanting to eat, it wasn't that uncommon, because she'd sometimes eat stuff she wasn't meant to outside, like she'd get into like fertilizer bulbs and stuff like that, so she'd sometimes, not want to eat a ton that day, or she'd start trying to eat grass and whatnot to try and, deal with her stomach ache issues. So no one really thought too much of her, maybe wanting to skip a meal. Was it a fair, like, maybe she just, ate something that didn't agree with her and she's not feeling super well at the time. Then, she took a massive downturn late at night and was dead before anyone could even get her out of the house to a animal vet, which is depressing. And the other dog, is still around. Rosette, we got her back in 2005 sometime, so she's, a really old dog at this point, and she's so blind and deaf and unable to really smell as well as she used to that you can eat food and she won't even realize you're really eating anything anymore, so she doesn't even try and beg for things. Like, it's gotten to the point where, like, she hasn't been willing to play with you for years at this point. Like, I used to be able to, like, throw toys and she'd chase after them, and then eventually she just stopped, because, like, her joints are all, going to crap, so arthritis and stuff, she's like, I just don't want to play. I just want to lay about and sleep and eat. And it's getting to the point where a lot of times she goes to the bathroom in the house because she can't hold it long enough to be let outside, or sometimes I don't think she realizes she's been let outside to go to the bathroom, because, like I said, she's so blind and deaf and whatnot, she can't really tell the difference between being inside or outside anymore. So it's kind of depressing, but yeah. We spent a lot of this film just watching, Higgins do average dog stuff, So watching a dog beg for food just isn't that exciting for me, because I've had that experience hundreds of times. Don't get me wrong. Higgins is a talented dog. Higgins is a good boy. Higgins deserves his treats, but Higgins just being an adorable dog doing doggy things is not enough to carry a movie for like 40+ minutes. Even if you bring in a second dog as a love interest, named Tiffany, like, it's not enough cuteness, overwhelm me and say, like, this is a great use of, film here. So, yeah, we just have too much time that's wasted on, some running gags. So there's just not enough, to keep me interested. I mean, I realize we eventually picked the pace a bit near the end of the film when Benji, brings a note from the kidnappers to showcase, that Benji has to know where the kidnappers are because he brings in the original note that was no good that they just toss on the ground, don't throw into an actual garbage can. So Benji just picks it up and then runs back with it. And then we get some time spent on flashbacks as he's running back, to show the doctor the note. So there's stuff like that, that just ultimately, it's just too slowly paced. And the parts where it does pick up the pace, it's too little, too late for me. As I'd put, you could take this film and take a hacksaw to it and probably chop it in half and probably not lose that much as far as this film's concerned. So yeah, I mean, if I wanted a dog movie or something, again, I'd probably bust out, Beethoven. I got an 8-pack collection for that series. And I've got other animal movies floating around that I'd say are a better experience than, this 1974 classic. If you like this film, more power to you, but for me, it's too slowly paced to really be a good film to enjoy on my own time. Till next time, then. See ya.
Stop it! Stop it! You leave my sweetie Petey alone! Ooh, you primitive, uncultured cur! I'm going to tell her to go for you one day. And she'll do something dreadful. Then you'll be sorry. You have no decency! He was late today. Well, is he ignoring you? Oh, you come right back here this minute and chase my cat. You inconsiderate, irresponsible. Oh, do you want to give her a complex?